I welcome you to the Messiah channel, a prophetic channel dedicated to end times. Our video today, our message today is about the preparation for the coming nuclear war, the war between the East and the West, the war between Russia and NATO, the preparation for the war, the preparation for the coming war. And we are looking at it in the context of internal politics, and particularly election politics in the United States. And the conclusion is that when you see all those things happening, your calculation is that we are at the last end of this world, because all these things have to happen. They were prophesied a long time ago, and the prophecies came even in the Old Testament. Isaiah, Zechariah, Joel, they all prophesied about it. In the New Testament, you saw Paul talking about perilous times. That will signal that we are in the last days. And then he also said, in the last days, people will move away from faith in the Lord, and they will follow doctrines of demons. So that's the time that we are in. And there is a convergence. And today we can say that there is preparation for nuclear war. So far we have conventional engagements, conventional skirmishes here and there in the Middle East, in Europe, behind the scenes, but you know that they are preparing for war, and that war will be nuclear. It will be nuclear because it is the ultimate. And if you look at the balance of power, you see Russia has more strategic nuclear weapons than the United States, than any member in NATO. But Russia wouldn't match the conventional power of NATO and the US combined. And so the ultimate decider would be the use of nuclear weapons. And it's not that people are bluffing about using nuclear weapons. They have the capabilities, they have the hypersonic missiles, and they also have the intent. And when I say the leaders have the intent to use nuclear weapons, you can deduce it from the statements that they make. And when you hear people saying that nuclear war would be good for global warming, you know they have the intent to use nuclear weapons. And when you see the architects of the New World Order talking about global population control, and even with the intent of reducing world population to 500 million people, it means that they have the intent to use nuclear weapons. But the intent can be deduced from what they do. And recently, you saw the destruction of Russia's nuclear radars by Ukraine, working in conjunction, in sync with NATO? Why would they destroy Russia's nuclear radar? The nuclear radar are there to detect incoming weapons, nuclear weapons. And if you destroy them, it means several things. Number one, you are testing your preparation for nuclear war with Russia. And number two, you are destroying the nuclear radars so that Russia will be defenseless. And of course, when the nuclear radars are destroyed or they are tampered with, then it gives the green light for nuclear strike. If they are not preparing for nuclear war, why would Putin deploy tactical nukes? Why would they put their nuclear forces on alert? Why would Putin send warships, nuclear-powered warships, close to the border with the United States? And it means that they are preparing for nuclear war. And that is why the US has tested a nuclear system, the Minuteman III, testing to see whether they will work. They assume, the leaders assume that they have the weapons, and they assume that they will win. And of course, they follow a doctrine of demon, and that doctrine is mutual assured destruction. Mutual assured destruction is a nuclear doctrine, a satanic doctrine. And the doctrine says that if you destroy us, then all of us will be destroyed. It is comparable to the Samson Ocean, Israel's doctrine, nuclear doctrine. And if our existence is threatened, and then we will use the Samson option. We will nuke. Of course, the Samson Ocean is the use of nuclear weapons. And so the nations are preparing for nuclear war, and the leaders are aware. The president of Hungary is aware. Putin is aware. American president, they are aware. And so you see nuclear planes, presidential nuclear planes moving here and there, and people are tracking them, and they see unusual movements. You have to remember that nobody will tell you they are preparing for nuclear war. They will not even tell you they are preparing for war. They do it in secret. Definitely, you know that the kingdoms of this world belong to the kingdoms of Lucifer. They are part of the kingdom of Lucifer. It's a dark kingdom. It's a secret kingdom. And the people operating the kingdom, they are members of secret societies. You know the secret societies that we are talking about. Because it's secret, you don't know who is who. And leaders are working in cahoot. They are working in sync. They are all part of the system. But they make it look like they are different. And they have to do that in order to deceive. And you already are warned in Matthew 24, verse 4. Let no man deceive you. And when we say let no man deceive you, it includes a pastor, it includes a president, it includes a politician, it includes people who pretend that they are working in your interest. And some of them will even use the scriptures to deceive. And that's why we need to stay focused. So they are preparing for nuclear war. And all those things are happening in the context of political turmoil and uncertainties going into the elections that are coming. You know, elections are coming in the United States. And there are a lot of political maneuvering, and it makes things uncertain as to what will happen in the United States and ultimately what will happen in the world. And the Supreme Court of the United States um, released a ruling on presidential immunity, a landmark constitutional ruling. And the ruling is that the President of the United States is immune from prosecution in his official acts. It has broad implications, and it sets in limbo the criminal cases against a presidential candidate, Donald Trump. And it means that possibly the cases against him may not go into trial until after the elections, the 2024 presidential elections in the United States. And Trump is on course. And you also watch the debate, the presidential debate between Biden and Trump, and whatever happened, and it casts shadows on the American presidential elections coming in November 2024. And when they meet, who will win, who will lose? I wouldn't want to go into the political aspect of it, but the Lord reveals secrets, and we can deduce certain things from it. January 2024, if I recall, I even made a video about it, and I saw President Trump performing presidential functions. He was not a president. He was a president 2020. He's coming back again, he's standing. And I saw in a vision, January 2024, he was performing presidential functions. What does it mean? We need to keep our fingers crossed. And I also saw in a vision, another vision, that a president is dead. They mentioned the incumbent president of the United States, a news broadcast that I saw in a vision. You need to be able to interpret the meaning of visions, otherwise you make a mistake and you make a wrong conclusion. The implication is that so many things can happen. The 2024 elections will have implication for United States. It will also have implication for the world. The Supreme Court is saying that America's president is immune from presidential acts. What does it mean? It means that there are so many things that American president can do. And that ruling has or will embody future American president. And you should analyze it beyond the 2024 presidential elections. It makes the American president stronger constitutionally. And I believe that America is the Babylon spoken of in the book of Revelation. And I believe that America will produce the Antichrist. And so constitutionally, the ruling of the Supreme Court has cemented the powers of the American president beyond 2024. American president is immune from prosecution in the context of his official acts. The king of Babylon will have a lot of official acts to perform, and he is emboldened, or he will be emboldened by the Supreme Court decision about presidential immunity from criminal prosecution in the context of acts performed by the president. They are shielded from prosecution. It has consequences for the United States and also for the world, because American presidents in the past have done so many things, and they immunize themselves because they are doing that to protect the world. They have arrogated to themselves the duty to protect global democracy. And so the ruling of the Supreme Court that American president is immune from criminal prosecution has implications for the United States and also for the world. The world is watching. Russia is watching. China is watching. Iran and North Korea are watching, and they will analyze whatever happens in the United States politically, because they are at war with America. And he who is the president of America is very, very important. They are working with time. They are working with time. They are preparing for war. They are preparing for nuclear war. It is part of their plans. And if you look at China, for a long time, they expected a war with the United States. And their strategies, they plan that a major war will happen between China and America. China planned to overtake America economically and militarily, and economically they have gone far. I will not say they have overtaken America, but they have posed a challenge to America. Militarily, they are posing a challenge, and it's part of a plan that they had, that beginning in 1949, when they had the Chinese Revolution. 100 years from that time, they plan that they will have to defeat America, the West, and that defeat will come through war. So they have been preparing for war. Their ideological strategies plan for a war, a possible war between, not a possible war, a potential war, an imminent war between America and China. They have been preparing for that, and now we are in the world where you can deduce from whatever is happening that the war is inevitable. War because of Taiwan, war because of BRICS, war because of Russia, war because of North Korea, and war in the Middle East. And all these are wars that will impact the countries that have the capabilities, economic capabilities, and military capabilities. So the world is in a turmoil, and we are in the perilous times predicted by Paul as he wrote to his brother Timothy. And because of that, we need to stay focused. We need to watch whatever is happening in the world, and need to focus on our salvation. Philippians 2:12. We need to work for our salvation with fear and trembling as the days are approaching. We are living in the days of the sounding of the final trumpet of heaven, and nations are preparing for nuclear war. They will not tell you, but they are preparing for nuclear war. They are also preparing for the New World Order. And when President Biden was inaugurated, he openly said America will lead the new world order. And so even at the time that he had a bad debate performance, he still wants to stay, and his supporters will want him to stay because he has an agenda. He has a mandate. He has to lead America. And he said that America will lead the new world order. And you know what the new world order is about? It's the last stage of the kingdom of Lucifer. And they're preparing for that. So you also need to stay focused and don't let anybody deceive you. Your allegiance is not to the constitution of your country. Your allegiance is not to the flag of your nation. Your allegiance is to the throne of the Most High, and He's coming. He has prepared His throne for judgment, and judgment is coming. And stay focused, and be in the Lord. We are in the last days. Thank you for watching this video.